And we're recording. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. Happy Labor Day. Thank you guys so much for joining me on a holiday, sacrificing your time. I'm going to keep it simple tonight and keep it quick. So I'm going to share the screen and just get diving in and going so that y'all can do what you need to do tonight to get ready for an awesome week. So tomorrow, you guys, is the launch of Pumpkin Spice Shakeology. There is going to be a raffle on the team page, and this is how it works. Tomorrow, when it goes live, when you can order it, you'll be able to comment underneath that post. Every time you purchase a Pumpkin Spice Shakeology, so if you buy one case, comment under it, one case. If you buy 2 cases, comment twice, okay? Every time you comment, it's an addition to our raffle, and I'm going to give away collagen. You get a freaking ton of collagen, y'all. This is a raffle you want to be a part of. Like, seriously. I'm pretty excited. I actually stopped Charlie in the middle of something. I don't know what we were doing, but it was not Beachbody related. And I was like, babe, I have an idea. And he gets blindsided because I'm thinking Beachbody stuff. He's thinking this is real life stuff. And I'm like, what if I give away collagen? So anyway, that is the giveaway. It's a really awesome prize. So anytime you purchase, any purchase of Pumpkin Spice Shakeology qualifies you for 1 edition. So if you buy 2 cases, you get your name in there twice, but also everything you sell. So not for your coaches because they count, because this is a team-wide challenge. So, but any of your customers. So if you sell, Susie, who's not a coach yet, but she's just an ongoing challenger, wants to get pumpkin spice, and you send her the share cart and she orders it, then you comment, Susie placed her order, you get another addition into the raffle for collagen, okay? So however many you purchase or sell to customers will qualify you for how many times you get entered into the giveaway. And then, and I'm gonna go, you guys, until it sells out. Last year it sold out day of. If it doesn't sell out day of this year and it keeps going, then I'm going to just keep it extended through that so you can keep asking customers to purchase or whatever. So that window, I'm not going to give you a window of when that raffle will close. It's going to close when there's no more pumpkin spice left, okay? And then also tomorrow starts our September book club, which I'm doing a new thing this month with our book club. It's over in the Bookworms page. It's a separate group. It's called Inspire Beauty Bookworms if you're not already in there. We're going to be reading this book together, but all I ask of you is a chapter a day, Monday through Friday, okay? And in the group, starting tomorrow, I know tomorrow's Tuesday, but I wanted to start on not a holiday. So starting tomorrow, it'll be chapter 1, and we'll read until we get all the way through the book, which is 18 chapters. The only thing you have to commit to is reading that chapter every day and applying it with action, not with knowledge, not saying, oh, I read chapter 1 and I learned this. No, but what did you do with what you learned? So after you read chapter 1, what's an action step you want to take in your life to be better, right? And then the other thing is that you printed off enough trackers to get you through the 18 days, which would be about 4 trackers for the month of September, and that you practice tracking your business, right? Which is always a good idea, and we'll talk about that tonight. So that's tomorrow. So exciting. Just wanted to start with that. Today we're talking about keeping it simple, though. Last September, I launched an initiative on our team called Keep It Simple September, because what I happened to notice was as our team was starting to get some momentum happening after the summer months, last summer it was incredible to see our team kind of take off flying. That's the time frame that we went from being the 2000 something team, not ranked, to all of a sudden we were number 548 by the end of August. It was pretty incredible to watch us climb pretty much over 1,500 spaces in the network. It was just awesome. And as we were climbing, sometimes as you climb this ladder, as you grow as a coach, what I tend to find is we overcomplicate, right? We become our own worst enemies. We stop ourselves sometimes before we even get started because we just forget how simple this business really is. We start to overcomplicate everything, right? And you name it, from what am I supposed to post on social media as I grow my business, to how should I do my stories every day, to, what should my workout video look like? Should I lead team calls? I'm growing a team. What should I do with that? How do I lead better, right? Anywhere in the business, you name it, there's ways to overcomplicate it. And at its root, this business is so simple. There's layers of complexity you can add to it as you grow a team and a thriving business, absolutely. But I think sometimes we jump the gun on that, and I know in my business, I've shared with you guys very openly about jumping the gun on some things. But I have definitely jumped the gun on like wanting to be somewhere and not actually doing the simple behaviors to get there, right? So we're going to talk about that tonight. This is a graphic I've shared before, but it has been a long time. So I want to pull this out of the archive, shake some dust off of it, and just share this with you. Micah Folsom created this for the network. She is a OG coach. She's really great. And she just is a beast when it comes to doing her craft. Like she is, when you look at her, she's a normal person. She's a farm girl. I think she's got like goats and pigs. I don't know. I think she lives in Iowa. She's just a farm girl, y'all. Like, that's it. And she's got a freaking kick booty business. She's been a coach quite a while. And she just shows up consistently doing the things that are on the Success Club business activity tracker. So there's a funnel to this. So the top of the funnel, the biggest thing, what we should always like pay closest attention to as coaches is, are we showing up and sharing our journey authentically with others? Is that the root of, like, when I wake up in the morning, is that on my list of my focus every day? This is one of the reasons why I tell people, this is why you should become a coach. Because the reason I show up 6 years later every day when people are like, I don't know how you do it. Well, I do, because it's such a huge part of my day that like nothing else happens in my day without me taking care of myself and sharing that. That is number one. Okay. I'm not like the best morning workout person. I actually prefer to do like a little bit more in the afternoon. Like right before dinner time is like my sweet spot. But you guys, if I don't start my day with that, the rest of my day doesn't funnel properly. And so I know this as a coach. So I bite the bullet. I show up, I share my journey. First thing, it starts with that, right? This is one where I know all of you on the call at some point or another have or are struggling with how to intentionally expand your network. And I actually shared some videos in the Coach University that I did in live time last month that talks about this, whether it's through hashtags or you're building your brand or how to reach out and kind of build a following intentionally. There are resources out there for that. I know that Kate Schultz, I think is her last name. She has a really great YouTube video as well, or it might be on the Beachbody Champions page that you can check it out. But there are so many resources out there for coaches on how to intentionally expand your network, and it's part of our Success Club tracker. But notice that this one comes next. Notice that the next thing after we show up and share our journey is not invite to the group or promote a call to action. Notice that the next one is I intentionally want to expand your network. Guys, we hit walls far too much on our team where we don't know who to invite next because we've literally let the well run dry. I've been there. I've done that. And I know some of you have as well. And it just stinks when you're like, I'm literally talking to the same people over and over again. They're giving me the same stupid answer every single time or ghosting me. And I'm not finding my people. This has to be at the forefront. And so when we're simplifying our month, when we're keeping it simple, we're showing up. And I'm literally going out on my phone and I'm finding people who are just like me around the globe in the United States, UK, and Canada at this point, and expanding with them, bringing them into my network, not inviting them, but just intentionally connecting with them, right? Because then that's the next part of it, is how we genuinely connect with people. If you feel like you are showing up and sharing your journey and you're inviting people and you're not hitting Success Club, may I boldly suggest that you are missing that part of the funnel right there in the middle. That you're jumping the gun and going from showing up and sharing to word vomiting and inviting, and there's nothing about you in the middle that is intentional or genuine. And I'm not saying that you're not an intentional or genuine person. I'm saying maybe your behaviors to get you from you showing up to inviting somebody to do it with you isn't lining up with that middle chunk, the intentionality, right? Finding the right people. You might be talking to the wrong people. I used to speak to people who didn't have money. I learned real quick, stop talking to people that don't have money. Go find a different network of people because they're out there, right? Like, I commend anyone who says my market is college students. I could never, because the first thing that a college student is going to tell me is I have no money. So I don't intentionally reach out and friend and follow college students or even people who are fresh out of college, like in their first year. they're going to tell me the same thing. So it's that intentionality. So again, if you feel like, you know, you're struggling somewhere, there's a disconnect, maybe this month, that's where you spend your focus, is in that middle chunk where you're expanding and connecting with those people that you're expanding with. And then of course, we promote our call to action and we invite, and we'll talk about that here in a second, of like having a game plan for that, right? But this is your crap. This is the hashtag do your crap. And it's not like a bad thing. This is like an exciting, like this is what I get amped up to do every day. Every day I want to show up and share my journey. I want to find people who are just like me. I had a blast, by the way, at Summit this year, because I really felt like all of y'all were just like me in some way, shape, or form. Like that, and there wasn't a single black sheep that was like off on her own. Nobody liked her. Nobody got her. Her humor was off. Like something was just a little weird about her. No, like all of us found something to connect with one another with, and that it's not a mystery. There's an intentionality behind the type of women I try to bring into our tribe, because we can put them all in the same room and they're going to connect with one another simply because of that, right? We don't have these like random weird people that just don't fit in, right? Okay. But this is all that stuff that you want to get excited about. Get excited about who do I not even know yet that is going to be like my next best friend in the freaking world, right? Or my next rock star coach, because he or she is out there. All of this funnels into the vital process, which Beachbody created. We have our vital behaviors, right? Which is kind of like the do your crap part. It all pours into the process. And if you want to be a business building coach, if you want to build a hobby, fun money, business money, whatever you want to do with your business, there's a process to this. And the first part of the process is getting clients. And so if you feel like, okay, let's just stop there. Because some of us, I think in August, myself included, had a hard time getting clients. And so when we look back on August and we say, where did I miss the mark? What part of doing your crap did you not own up to, right? And these are gut checks we have to give ourselves when maybe we have a month where like we don't hit the mark that we thought we were going to hit, or we came shy of it, or whatever, right? When it just doesn't feel like we hit the goal we set for ourselves. The first part of being a coach, though, in the vital process is you got to get a client. Just one. I'm not saying get 10 clients tomorrow, but one. And that client needs to get results. That's the next part of their funnel. So once you have a client, it's not, like I say all the time, I love Beachbody because we're not like, okay, cool, thanks for buying the challenge pack. See you in the flippity flop. Like, enjoy your life. Let me know if you like Shakeology. No, we get them results. Like that is our JOB. So we get our clients. We work and help to get them results. And when our clients get results and they love the products, which again, that's not everybody. There's a reason this is a funnel, you guys. There's a reason this is a funnel. Because do you see where all your clients are sitting at the top? Do you see how not all of them are going to get results? That's called normal. Some of them are going to fall off. Some of them are going to get busy. Some of them are going to find something else that works for them. That's okay. It's a funnel. Because then those customers that get results, some of them will be able to convert to coaching because they love it so much. They're sold out on it. All of a sudden, they want to become a coach. They love the products. They want to pay it forward. And then from there, just because they're a coach doesn't mean they're going to be a leader, you guys. But from there, we start to see the people who have those qualities of a runner, of somebody who gets it, somebody who wants this. And one of the first things I see, you guys, and maybe you can attest for this in your business, or if you have some coaches on your team, one of the first things I notice about a runner is that they just start showing up and sharing their journey. You see where I took you to? Right back to the top. So when you're like, Brittany, I don't know who's a business builder on my team and I don't know who's a leader on my team, who's showing up and sharing their journey? Right there. That's your next leader, right? And I can think of people on, as I'm looking at some of you guys who are on the call, I can think of coaches on your team that when that moment happened, like I see Amanda right now. I remember Amanda when Elizabeth signed up and she started showing up and sharing her journey, boom, that was a leader on your team, right? And like, I remember that. And so that is the first indicator for me that somebody has what it takes to potentially go and develop into a future leader on our team, right? But this is the process of a coach. But it all starts, again, at the top of the funnel of doing your stuff. So keep it simple, you guys. You show up and share your journey. You intentionally expand your network. You connect with people along the way. And from there, now you have something to stand on in order to promote a call to action and invite to your next challenge. And then from there, what do? We help them get get clients, get results, convert them to coaches, and look for our leaders who are showing up and doing the same thing, right? And that's it. It's really that simple. Like when you put it on paper, black and white in front of you like that, it's not that crazy hard. Okay. I think we overcomplicate it because, and I know, and I'm speaking really from myself, a lot of times I love to remove those two middle pieces in the top funnel. I love to stop expanding. Like, okay, I'll just worry about the people I already have. And then later I'll expand. And then another day goes by and I don't expand and I don't expand. And I keep skipping that. Right. And then I don't connect with the people that I do have. So then by the time I send that call to action or that invite, it's not coming back to me. It's not reciprocating the way that I wanted it to, even though I'm showing up so hard and sharing my journey, right? And so may I suggest one more time that maybe that middle chunk is also missing in your business the way that I feel like it's missing in mine. I know what I need to work on this month. Definitely intentionally expanding my network and genuinely connecting with the people that I do have. Okay. So these are my monthly questions. I kind of gave them to our business building coaches maybe last month or 2 months ago, but whenever a month starts or is wrapping up or whatever, I love to look ahead at where we're going. And I want to know, these are some things you can ask yourself, but I always ask myself, what am I trying to achieve this month? Now, on paper, it could be very simple. You could say, I'm trying to achieve just Success Club. But here's the thing. I feel, and this is like, should I rock the boat by saying this? But sometimes I get angry when I hear you guys tell me, yeah, my goal is to hit Success Club this month. And then I watch you not hit it. And then you tell me the next month, yeah, my goal is to hit Success Club this month. And then you don't hit it. And then the next month you tell me your same goal. I'm going to hit Success Club. And then you don't hit it. After a while, I'm like, no, you're not. Like, do it. Like, I would love for you to hit Success Club and just freaking stop telling me you're going to do it and actually do it, right? Like, and I'm rocking the boat by saying this because I think you're saying that sometimes because you think that's what you're supposed to say. But take a moment and really ask, what am I trying to achieve this month? What are you really trying to achieve this month? What do you want to feel? And it's a feeling, right? Success Club doesn't matter. Like if I just said, hey, like SC6 and I just showed it to you, that doesn't matter. But when you actually achieve it and you've been going for it, there's a feeling behind it that gets you excited to do it again and to help more people, right? So there's feelings behind it. So like maybe part of the feeling is like, I just want to feel like I met some really cool people this month. So like you got to intentionally seek them out and connect with them, right? Or maybe like, I just want to feel like I helped somebody, really work on their transformation this month. Like, what are you, like really dig into the feeling behind what you're trying to achieve. Because I think when you start to put some feelings and emotions behind it, it's not so much like, oh, well, I'll try again next month. Because then you get mad. You guys, I didn't not hit Success Club. And by the way, I was at 4. I was at SC4 on the last day of the month. And I finished the month at 6, embarrassed as all get out, because that's not how I should have finished this month. That's not my best. That's not Brittany's best, and I know that. And so I was angry at that number, and I was angry at the, at how difficult it was for me to get to that number. But I have to understand too that like sometimes there's months like that, but I also don't ever, ever, ever just say, well, I tried. Because the feeling I would have felt if I didn't hit Success Club versus the slight embarrassment I had of just coming shy of it right at the end of the month, 2 very different feelings, and I won't have that one. I will not have the angry, like I blew it feeling where I didn't hit my goal, that my benchmark, my non-negotiable, versus this slight embarrassment that maybe my numbers were a little weaker than they should have been, right? So really, what are you trying to achieve this month? You got to ask yourself that. And please don't answer that based on what you think you should say, right? And then is it mapped out? So for me, I like to map out what I'm inviting to, when my next group is starting. Guys, the last 100 days are coming right on up here in September. You can count it back from December 31st all the way if you want, but I think it's coming up here on like the, I don't have my other calendar in front of me, but it's like the 11th, no, like the 19th or something like that. It's coming up in this month. And so I am reopening like another 100 challenge, right? Rachel Hollis does this last 90 challenge. If you've ever been around her long, she does this last 90 social media challenge. And I'm going to use kind of that same concept and do it as the last 100, right? Don't just look at this month though, also look into next month. What's happening in October? Are you going to want to do any sort of 3-day refresh because of the Halloween candy and the excessive pumpkin spice and looking at pumpkin spice launch and all that stuff, right? So mapping that out. Also not forgetting when you're offering the coaching opportunity this month. And I asked, when are you offering it? And I didn't put when are you hosting a sneak peek? I phrased it like this, you guys, because for me, I offer the coaching opportunity every day. I don't wait for a sneak peek to say, oh, now I'll invite people to coaching. Like I used to have seasons where in the top half of the month I invited to challenge groups, and the bottom half of the month I invited to coaching. And I used to do this system like that, back, forth. And what I realized is I don't have to do that because really everything is ongoing. You know what I mean? And so I invite to coaching all the time. Anybody that gets invited to my challenge group gets invited to the coaching opportunity. In that last email I send them when we're setting up a share cart, they've got one more question, right? Everyone gets that one more question. And wouldn't you guys believe that there's sometimes I don't want to ask that? Do you know that sometimes I just want to get to the sale and be done with it? Like I'm just like you, right? Do you ever get to that point where you're like, oh my God, you're buying the challenge pack. That's so free month. Okay, we're setting up a share cart. Let me get the Shakeology clears. Okay. Should I ask him that one more question? Right? Do you ever get that? I do. On Saturday or Friday when I was helping set up a share cart with my newest coach, Kirsten, and I was helping her. I thought, oh my gosh, Brittany, you don't have time for this. We're trying to check out of the hotel, y'all. We're trying to drive to Albuquerque or somewhere. I don't even know where we're driving that day. And we're trying to get, and I was like, babe, I just need like 10 minutes, please. Like I'm getting a challenge pack sale. Please give me 10 minutes, while I have Wi-Fi. And wouldn't you know that I got to that point and I was like, I'm just not going to ask it. I'm just going to set her up as a customer. And then I thought of you guys. And I thought, how dare you, Brittany? How dare you teach them a system and then not do it yourself? And I shamed myself privately. and I did it. And then I asked her, wouldn't you believe she signed up as a coach? And that's like one of those like, see, that's why you always ask, right? I have times, you guys, when I don't feel like asking that one more question because for whatever reason, maybe my mean girl tells me I'm going to blow the sale, right? Or maybe I just feel like I just want to rush to the sale because I don't have time and I feel like if we talk any longer, they're going to change their mind, right? Like I get it, but I tell you, every time it slaps me in the face how just asking them one more question, which way do they want to sign up, shocks me every time. That they want to be a part of this community. And of course they want to be a part of this community, guys. Like we love it here. It's awesome. Like, of course. And we share about it all the time, right? So of course they want to be a part of the Inspired Beauty community. So I ask, when are you offering that? Because you might have a strategy where you just want to do top half of the month challenge group, bottom half of the month coaching, and back forth. Maybe it's interwoven. Maybe you want to host a sneak peek in your story at some point this month, whatever that looks like for you. Or maybe it's like, I'm getting really good at this one more question thing, and that's how I'm offering the coaching opportunity, and then I'm going to groom my coaches or my challengers to become working coaches, right? So that's on you to kind of ask yourself that question and decide that, and then stick to it. With all of that, do you have a strategy for posting? We post with purpose, right? We don't just slap something up and hope it sticks. We want to make sure that our posting is going to bring us to an end result. But also, you guys, posting with purpose doesn't mean call to action. I want to make sure that we understand that when we're keeping it simple, your strategy for posting is everything, but it's also everything with building relationships. Remember back to that funnel where I talked about the intentionality and the connections? Tonight I posted about my dishwasher. I didn't post a call to action. I didn't post anything. I posted about my dishwasher. You know why? Because tomorrow I can go private message everybody about my stupid dishwasher and like have an honest, real human conversation that will not necessarily be an invite, but it'll just be a way to connect. And for somebody to build a little bit of trust in me because all of a sudden we have maybe something in common, right? We can both share stories about how terrible hand washing dishes is, on your nails, on your manicure. I also did a poll in my story about it to gauge who understands me, who doesn't. And then from that poll, I can talk to people. That's strategy. I didn't put that up there without intentionality behind it because I'm going to now use that for something tomorrow. So when you put something up on social media, my encouragement for you is put it up with the idea that tomorrow I'm using it to either connect or invite. One or the other, right? Every post has a strategy behind it. Either it's using it to connect you closer to people and build trust, or it's used for an invitation to your group, right? And then we wash, rinse, and repeat this. So this is a monthly strategy that, you know, I try to teach you guys every month, but if I always do this every month, then it's like we're missing the boat on some other really cool things. So these are things that like we wash, rinse, and repeat. And so as we're getting ready for October next month, like what would be amazing is if somebody came on the team page and said, oh my gosh, I already have my October calendar. Here it is. And you show everybody, right? Rather than waiting for somebody to tell you to do it. Okay. We just wash, rinse, repeat these things. I'm going to give you a little inventory next. And if these like top of the month questions for you are already making you like feel like a little anxious and you're like, whoa, Britt, this was called Keep It Simple. And like, I don't feel like this is simple. May I suggest that your priorities and your scheduling and your time management and just the way you're mapping out your life in general might be a little off and might need to be revisited. Yeah. So maybe you are like the chronic coach that I was, where I'm just flying off the seat of my pants every day. And it's like, I'll roll the dice and hopefully have time to work my business, or I'll work it like in this crack and this crack. And I just feel all over the place. You might want to breathe and sit down and map out your week. Start with that. When are you working your business? All that stuff, so that you can not feel like this is just another elephant on your shoulders, or on your chest, that is. So a little inventory of keeping it simple. First and foremost, every one of us has a weakness in this business right now in the season we're in. And that's not meant to be depressing. That's meant to be exciting, because we're constantly evolving and growing. And if I get to a place in my business where I'm like, I'm not weak at anything, well, that's a problem, because that means I've plateaued, right? That means I'm not stretching myself. And so at every turn in your business, every season, there should be something in your business where you're like, I'm not as strong at that. And it could be something that comes back. Maybe it's something you got strong at and then you feel like you weakened at, or maybe it's something brand spanking new to you that you're like, wow, this like leadership stuff is really hard. I've never even experienced it. Or man, I how to help duplicate behaviors in my team is really stressful for me. And I don't know how to do that. Or man, I just feel really weak at inviting. Wherever you feel weak in your business, in your personal season, you've got to like know that, first of all. Knowing's half the battle. Right? But then the second one for an inventory for yourself is, what resources are you using to grow as a coach? Some that I love to use to help me simplify and like always stay in growth mode is the National Wake Up Call, right? I love the Beachbody Champions page. On Tuesdays, they always host a hustle hour, you guys, or an action hour. And they take that, I don't know if you know this, but they take that every Tuesday and it's recorded and they put it on their YouTube channel. So if you go to Beachbody Champions or TBB, Beachbody Champions, I'm not sure exactly the handle it is on YouTube, but if you go to that and you click on their like playlists, there's an action hour playlist and they put them all up there. So if you're like, I just feel really weak at how to do like a disciplined power hour every day. Dude, there are so many power hours out there to follow and so many different types of coaches hosting them that you're going to find one that clicks with you, but you got to go through them, right? Those are awesome resources for me. I'm constantly using YouTube and Google, right, for that. But honestly, for me and my business, like my resources, when I want to grow as a coach, they need to come right back down to like coaches who are living and breathing it. So I find those answers usually on other coaches' YouTube channels, and also in the Beachbody Champions page. Side note, when I first started coaching, people didn't share like stuff like this. Meaning once it was recorded, it was shared privately with your team and no one else had access to it. And one of the coolest things I've seen evolve in this industry, in this network, is that coaches who are at the top, they don't have anything to hide. There's no secret. They're not like holding on, right? They don't have this like lack mentality. So they just share. And so I could go to like Melanie Mitro's YouTube channel and she's got everything that she teaches her team right there. Same thing with like, I love Ashley Fell Dyson is a top coach right now. She's awesome. She's an ex-teacher and she shares everything that she every team call she does, she shares it. So like I can be right there and learning from another coach in the network as if I'm on their team, and I'm not. And so that's really cool, right? And so use those resources to help you grow. Another part of the keeping it simple inventory. So number one, know where you're weak and like laser focus in on growing in that way. Number two, Monday team calls and national wake up call should be in your calendar all month long, or a set time to watch those replays. That's how I keep it simple. When I feel like I'm getting off kilter, national wake up call. Get back on it, right? I gotta watch it every week. It'll zone you right back in, and it's so refreshing to hear from other coaches. I probably become like white noise to you guys at times, so it's so important to get yourself around a space where you can hear from other coaches who are pouring into the network. Another part of keeping it simple is, do you have business hours set this week? This week. I'm not even asking you like the whole month, just this week. Do you know when you're working your business this week? Do you have enough business activity trackers printed for the month? This kind of goes back to the last slide, but do you know what you're inviting to and when this month? Are you working from a list of people to invite and follow up with? What workout program are you following? What PD are you currently reading and sharing from? So guys, remember 5 a.m. club starts tomorrow. If you weren't on with us when we started this call, but personal development, you guys, on the tracker for a reason. It's so important. So important. Because we often say to our challengers that like the weight that you have to lose is not the weight on your body. It's actually like between your ears, right? We tell our challengers that. That's the same for us. I never see a coach quit who has a strong mindset. It's always a weak mindset that leads us to get in this like weird spiral space where we're like, I can't do this. I'm not good. We get in this defeated place, and personal development can rip us right back out of that. And I also included and sharing from, because there's a couple different ways that I like to share. And this helps me, number one, craft posts, because I might be inspired by something I read today. And so I'm going to craft a post inspiring my followers, because my followers probably aren't reading the book I'm reading. Heaven's sake, right? They're probably not at all. They've probably never heard of it. And so if I can take a little nugget from that book and teach my followers what I'm learning, that's awesome. But you can also share in your team page, right? In the business builder page, in any page, really, sharing from that too. 2019 goals and vision, but also a 1 and a 5 year goal and vision. And is it in front of you daily, right? Reminding you of what you're working for, one step in front of the other. And last week we talked a lot about belief and like the honest to goodness time it takes to cultivate and create things. And then it might not happen in the timeline. Last week I shared about my vision board and how there were so many things that I put on that board that were like audacious to put on a board, and they did not happen in that year. And they weren't things that were anywhere close in our life. Like Charlie and I drove here and he's like, when you made that board and put homeowners on it, we were nowhere in our life. That wasn't even a blink of a thought. Like there was no way in our current reality that we were boxed into, right? There was no way that we could ever own a home. None. I think I made that vision board 2 years ago, and here we are, right? But some people, 2 years is a long time, but I don't think it is. Doesn't feel like it anyway, right? But for some people, if you're like, yeah, you got to work for, look who made a cameo. Frankie says hi, guys. For some people, though, if you tell them, yeah, I know like that goal's on there, but that goal will take you 2 years to hit. They'd be like, 2 years? I don't have 2 years. Well, what else are you going to do, right? Like, and here I am 2 years later, so thankful that I never gave up. So it's important. Put a 5-year goal on there. I know sometimes we say, oh, I can't even imagine what I want in 5 years. Go freaking crazy. Imagine something that you can't even imagine, right? Beach house. Like, I don't know, something crazy. Put something crazy on there. I live in Paris. I don't know. Like, what do you want to do with your life? Put it on there and cast that, but have that in front of you daily so you know what you're working on. And then, guys, this one is so important, and this is something I like to do as a Sunday ritual when I'm planning out my week and I've got my planner in front of me, is I pause and I reflect. I asked you on the last slide, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve this month? What is that one thing for you? right? And if your one thing, it's okay if your one thing is to hit Success Club, gosh darn it. If that's your one thing, can you do me a favor and break it down? How are you going to make that happen? Every week, get closer to that. Because if it's helping 3 people and you want to do that one thing this month, I just want to help 3 people so bad, Brittany. That's all I want to do. And we know that for every, 10 people we invite, one of them is probably going to say they want more information, right? So you got to invite quite a bit of people, because not even everybody who wants information is going to join you, right? But if your one thing is that you want to hit Success Club, then every week you should be setting a non-negotiable invitation number. Every week I'm going to invite a minimum of 50 people. Because out of 200 people, if you're doing your job of showing up, intentionally growing your following and connecting with them, by the time you invite those 200 people, there should be some sort of relationship built that they at least want more information from you, right? So, and then we pause and we reflect. So if your one thing is, I gotta hit, like, I have to help 3 people get started this month and hit Success Club, like, it's just important to me. I just want to do that, right? That's my one thing. Well, this first week, you should help at least one person. One person should have a challenge pack, so that by the time you sit down to pause and reflect on Sunday, you say, okay, did I get closer to my goal? Yep, I've got 1 challenge pack sold. I need 2 more, and I've got 3 more weeks to do it. Okay, but I want to make sure I get this done because this is my one thing. This is my goal, right? This is what I'm going for. And so next week, I'm going to make sure I do the same actions that I did. I'm also going to follow up with anybody that I was like still having conversations with. And that's going to be week 2, so that I can add another person to that and check that off. And then at the end of the week, you say, okay, did I sell a challenge pack this week? I didn't. Okay, gut check. What did I not do? And there's an emotional element we have to take out of this. Like, there's no like, I suck or this, like, you got to remove the emotion and just say, did I do the behaviors I needed to do to hit the one thing I wanted, right? And the one thing, again, it goes back to a feeling, because if you're feeling a Success Club because you want to help 3 people, there's got to be something attached to that that's like so big. You guys, I'll go back to the vision board because it's like so fresh on my mind and I'm like living it right now. It's so crazy. A house on my vision board was that we were going to be homeowners 2 years ago, in a time in our life where we could not see a way to be homeowners ever, truthfully. Like, it felt like that will never happen. And here we are 2 years later. That Success Club wasn't on my vision board. I just want to hit Success Club and help 3 people. No, but I knew that if I did that, I could get to that. If I show up and I keep showing up and I keep helping people, I'm going to own a home one day, right? And now that that's checked off, shit, guys, I get to dream even bigger. How cool is that, right? And so, like, the things that you're like, oh, that's so big, like, I can't see that even happening in my life. So then it blocks you from like even the next big thing. We talked about this last week. Then when you get on top of that mountain, all of a sudden, it's not that you got to the top of the mountain and that's it. All of a sudden, the top of the mountain allows you to see every other mountain you can climb. And so now that we checked off that one, it's like, well, what's my next mountain? And now I can dream bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, but it comes down to, I have to do that one thing so I can get to the vision. So go back to that, you guys. Go back to, like, what are you trying to achieve this month? What are you trying to achieve in 2019? What are you trying to achieve in a year from now, 5 years from now? And then what's the freaking crap? Let's even go back to here. What is the crap that you have to show up and do to simplify it, to break it down so that it can happen, right? Because if you wash, rinse, repeat and take it through this funnel, there's no reason why it wouldn't, right? But it comes down to this. And so in keeping it simple, you guys, it's the tracker. I didn't even put the tracker on here because I know you guys are like, they're right there in front of you. I know you've got to print it out, but it's your tracker. It is showing up to the vital behaviors, right? Expanding your network, connecting with other people, and calling to action, inviting them, and then repeating that all over and over and over again. So I'm pretty sure that's it. That's all I got for tonight. Let me hit end on the recording.